In the quiet, coastal town of Branton, the sea was often both a refuge and a reminder of the unknown. The waves whispered secrets long buried beneath their depths, secrets that young Raymond had yet to uncover. Branton was far from a bustling city, with its quaint cottages and narrow lanes wrapping tightly around each other like a child clinging to a favorite bedtime story. But within this tranquil facade lay a shadow, whispering only to those who dared to listen. Raymond, an introspective 18-year-old, had returned to Branton after years of living in the city, seeking solace and silence to paint. He was known for his prodigious talent, his ability to bring vivid imaginations to life on canvas with such skill that many suspected a touch of magic in his work. But Raymond carried with him more than just his paints and brushes. He carried a burden of nightmares, memories he had hoped to drown out with the sound of the sea's gentle roar. In the family's old, creaky house perched on the brink of a cliff overlooking the restless ocean, Raymond set up his studio. The room, a place he remembered only in fragments, was cluttered with relics from a past life, long abandoned. Dusty shelves held forgotten toys, and the walls bore marks of past storms, weathered by the house and its inhabitants. Here, Raymond let his imagination run wild, painting scenes of otherworldly creatures and haunting landscapes gleaned from the depths of his subconscious. It started with the smaller things, not noticing hours slipping by unnoticed, or the feeling of being watched by unseen eyes, mere tricks of the mind, or so he thought. But at night, shadows moved differently in Branton. Raymond began seeing fleeting figures at the edge of his vision, shapes that seemed to leap from his canvas into the real world. A chill settled in his bones, creeping deeper with each stroke of his brush, as if each painting was an incantation, unlocking something ancient and primal. One particularly stormy night, while deep in the pursuit of capturing the turmoil of the sea, Raymond paused to admire his latest work. The painting depicted a massive, grotesque creature, its form merging with the ocean's fury. Normally, his art brought him peace, but this one filled him with an inexplicable dread. He was compelled to look away, though his eyes were irresistibly drawn back to it time and again. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the house as the wind slammed a window open. Rain and salt spray drenched the room, and Raymond hurried to close it. As he did, lightning illuminated the canvas, casting a silhouette that seemed to twist and shift beneath the brief flash. In the heart of the storm, the monstrous being in his painting seemed to watch him, its painted eyes measuring and mocking his panic. The next morning, Raymond woke early, determined to set aside the unsettling events of the previous night. His mother mentioned hearing strange noises, believing them to be remnants of the storm. But as Raymond surveyed his room, his heart sank. His latest painting was gone, vanished as if it had never existed. In its place lay only a damp, empty canvas and the smell of brine heavy in the air. Branton's charm felt eerie and distorted, as if the town itself was holding its breath, waiting for something, anything, to happen. Raymond needed answers, but he would find none among the living. As he prepared to delve deeper into the mysteries that haunted him, the shadows gathered, waiting for night to fall once more. Raymond knew he couldn't ignore the missing painting or the strange occurrences surrounding him. Armed with only a flashlight and the resolve to uncover the truth, he ventured into the town's archives, housed in the basement of Branton's ancient library. Dusty tomes and yellowed newspapers told tales of the town's past, many dark and twisted, yet none seemed to echo his predicament. Just as frustration was about to claim him, he stumbled upon a brittle, water-damaged journal bearing his family name. It belonged to an ancestor he had never heard mention of, Jonathan Radcliffe, a reclusive artist from generations past. The journal chronicled Jonathan's descent into madness as he painted images as vivid and haunting as Raymond's. The pages detailed a legend known to few, of an artist who could summon forth phantoms from his art, spirits of the sea and shadows tied to ancient promises, whispered by Branton's winds. Chilled by the connections he discovered, Raymond realized the storm-soaked canvas was not a mere coincidence, but a threshold inviting the creature he had painted into the waking world. He determined that his ancestor had inadvertently done the same, drawn into a pact that bound each successive artist in their family to confront these manifestations of their subconscious. Raymond knew what he must do. Braving the tempest brewing outside, he set up a new canvas in the fury of the storm. The creature that haunted him lurked somewhere in the deep, called forth by his art. He resolved to paint a new work, a piece not of fear, but of banishment and protection. As the wind howled and lightning struck, illuminating the tortured cliffs, Raymond's brush moved with desperate purpose. He painted the sea, not as a malevolent force, but as a nurturing cradle, calming and serene. Slowly, he built upon it, strokes that spoke to the parts of him that embraced light over shadow. When it was done, Raymond took a step back, the sea retreating on the canvas. Its grip released a sigh that echoed in his heart. The oppressive weight of the air lightened as the creature from his nightmares was reabsorbed into the tranquil scene, now powerless before the artist's will. The next day dawned soft and renewed. Branton's air was cleansed by the night's storm, a fresh beginning for the town and for Raymond. His painting remained, a testament to his triumph over the fear that once ruled him. In it lay more than just the sea. It was a reflection of his journey, one that led him to face the shadows and embrace the artistry within himself, free from the bond to any darkness. Raymond had turned his nightmare inside out and found peace, changing the narrative dictated by his past. From that day forward, the legends of Branton became quieter, as if the sea itself had decided that the tale of the boy who painted monsters had been told one too many times, and perhaps, at long last, Branton's secrets could find their rest.